Good morning, Windsor High. Today is May 13, 2019. I'm Estrella and I'm Mari, and this is your Windsor High School Video Bulletin.
But I'll cherish every day until you find my way this season.
Graduation is quickly approaching. Do you have questions? Check out the senior graduation timeline on WHS.com. Make sure all school, athletic, and book fines are paid and your senior exit survey is completed. Here's a reminder about Senior Week.
Senior Week is coming up next week, and here are the days for you.
Friday, our senior game begins.
Monday is popsicles and picnic on the grass at lunch.
Tuesday is senior shirt day or blackout. If you haven't gotten a chance to put your handprint on the senior steps, you'll have a chance to do so at lunch.
Wednesday is Skills Cafe at lunch.
Thursday is college shirt day.
Friday, Pasta King at lunch.
Seniors, make sure you pick up your wristbands in the student store by Wednesday, May 15th so you can participate in all the events and pick up your food.
All seniors in good standings can pick up their wristbands starting on Wednesday in the student store. You must have a wristband to receive the free food during the week.
Okay, everyone, class is beginning. Take your earbuds out of your ear, put your phones away, and let's get to work.
Why should I take out my AirPods? I mean,
I paid for them myself, so why can't I wear them in class?
It's not like it's really affecting anyone. And honestly, I highly
doubt the teacher would even notice if I took them out.
It's not my fault everyone doesn't have them.
Seniors, Project Grad is Windsor High's all-night graduation party. 6 hours of music, fun, food, cash prizes, casino, carnival, and incredible entertainment. Register for only $60 right now through the Project Grad website below through May 28th, or return your payment and registration contract to the drop box in the main office. Don't wait. Seniors from past years say Project Grad is so much better than you can imagine. Here's a feature about a familiar teacher on campus.
My name is Diane Green and I work in the Wonder Corps, one of the original members, and I teach 9-10 Global Studies and World History to honors and academic students. I've been working at Windsor High School since 2002 when Mrs. Lucas was pregnant with Josie Lucas. Hi Josie, I was her sub. Well, I interviewed again and they hired me. There was an opening and Windsor was still growing. I think there were less than 40 teachers here at the time, so there was lots of room for new teachers and new students, and I really liked it here. So. I was raised by World War II vets, so maternal and paternal grandfathers were both pilots, as was my step-grandfather, and so I was raised with a lot of history and a lot of, you want to talk about repeated stories, a lot of repeated stories, but I was especially close with my mom's dad, and he encouraged me to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher and everyone thought it was a terrible idea except for him. And I loved history and I wanted to teach history, and he said, you should go study history and economics, and that's actually what I ended up doing. He died while I was in college, but we did a lot of fun history projects together when I was a kid, and it was always kind of like a bedtime story to me, so it seemed sort of natural.
You want to introduce the school in the video?
Oh, this is Bruno. He's from Tenochtitlan. I want my students to like being here, so I have a rule that learning should be fun until it stops. So if my students aren't learning, if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, then it's not fun. We'll stop the activity. I have to have fun here. I've spent the last 17 years here. I have probably another 20 to go, and I don't want it to be boring. but I don't want it to be boring for my students. But when I started teaching, I just really fell in love with teenagers, and I now realize that somebody has to love you guys, so I stayed because it's just the best part of my job.
The yearbooks are printed and arrive this week. Distribution will begin this week in the library. Thursday is for seniors only, beginning at lunch and continuing after 3rd and 4th blocks. Friday is for all classes 9 through 12, also beginning at lunch and continuing after 3rd and 4th blocks. Next week, we will be distributing at break, lunch, and after 3rd and 4th blocks Monday through Thursday. Books will be available for purchase at $100 at distribution if you did not pre-purchase.
Here's a feature about auto mechanics.
Alright, I'm Zach Leandro, and this is my first year in motor mechanics.
My name is Adeline Hampson. This is my first year in motor mechanics.
My name is Mr. Brito, and I teach all the shop classes here at Windsor High School.
Right now I'm working on a 454 Chevy big block motor. I just put the heads on, silicone the intake on. It's gonna be a really cool motor. I'm just putting it on the motor stand right now, actually.
I've had some students that have taken my class for 4 years, so they've amassed a pretty impressive array of skills and abilities. So one of the more advanced students built from the ground up an engine for his truck. Built and, installed it and did everything that takes. So something that would cost $10,000 at a shop was done in a few weeks here. An average project is just motor disassembly and inspection, as well as some fabrication in automotive related.
I'm currently rebuilding a small block Chevy engine. We changed out the pistons and replaced the headers, and now it runs.
The average class in motor mechanics is just a lot of activity, a lot of different varying projects. I like to try and keep it into 6 groups of 3. Ideally, sometimes all of the groups are working on engines, so they'll be at different stages of taking an engine apart, disassembling an engine, and reassembling it.
I've always been interested in building motors and stuff because my grandpa owns a Harley-Davidson shop, so I build motors all the time, and I really like working with tools and being out in the shop with all the teachers and all the kids. It's really fun.
The average class is pretty chill. We rebuild engines and work on our cars.
I've been deeply involved in mechanics, welding, and fabrication my entire life. From an extremely young age, was welding before I was 10.
I learned the names of all the different parts of the engine. Now I can take it apart and put it back together.
I've learned actually a lot. I'm not that big with car motors, but now I'm pretty educated. I really want to get an old, cool, classic car and just build it up with my friends and stuff like that.
I want people to know that this is a really chill class and it's really fun, and we need a lot more girls in it.
You will never get free access to the amount of equipment, tools.
Here's an important message from the Pre-Med Corps.
When we surveyed 20 freshmen and sophomores, 17 admitted of knowing someone who ditched school in order to participate in substance abuse. About 17% of American high school students skip class in order to do one of 3 things: drink, smoke, or use drugs. Students claim it to be a one-time thing. However, the body releases dopamine into the brain, which programs us to repeat those activities.
week is a great chance to get out and catch your Jaguars in league and NCO playoff action. Most of the dates and times for this week's games were not known at the time of this taping, so pay close attention to WHS updates on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for all the news on this week's end of spring playoff action.
That's it for this week.
Just 2 weeks left of classes.
1 week of finals.
1 graduation.
Make them your best Jags.
See you next week.
We have like 10 minutes. And here's everybody, your senior.
He's from Bruno, my student Bruno Mendez. Hi Bruno.
Can you tell them to be quiet? Everybody needs to be quiet.